Hi everyone, hi, how are you today? And here we are for some more tarot workshop with me and Marie. So we'll be going through the cards, as in today I've chosen the Star card and the Moon card for you. So the Star card, isn't this lovely? Do feel free to come and say hello while I go through the workshop with you, and please do like, share and subscribe, and you are welcome to type your comments to me if there is anything you'd like to ask or make a comment about. Please do feel free to actually comment. I'll be able to see your comments here and be able to reply to them in this short workshop to do with tarot. So, the Star card. This is a card that works in conjunction with the astrological sign of Aquarius. Now, this is all about our hopes, our inspiration, our generosity, and it's a card of healing and recovery. Now, if we look at that card, we can see there's a lady there pouring water into what looks like a stream and pouring water onto the land that's also merging into the stream and back into the land that she is actually half on, if you like. The stars are in the background there. It's about our wishes. It's about our fulfillment of wishes. It's also about our community. And this is a card that sometimes people sort of go, gosh, it's just hopes and wishes. It's a lot more than that. This is a great card, you know, to actually talk to people if you're doing a reading, if they're asking about something on social media. This is the card, because Aquarius is all to do with our political views, our social sort of interactions, who we are mixing and blending with, and who is in our community. So things like groups, pages, Facebook, of course, all sorts of different communities. Now, the star not only brings hope, but it can show you the way forwards when you're feeling lost. It's also a big card of healing, as I talked about a moment ago. So it can help us find our way again. It tells us that we can find out who we are and where we belong simply by allowing ourselves to be filled with a quiet strength and a belief in a brighter future. So it's our attitude as well, isn't it? It's about how we're actually behaving and how we're interacting. And it's about restoring our faith in future events or things that we plan, things that we hope and wish for. It's about counting our blessings and giving thanks and praise and gratitude for the things that we've already got going on in our lives. And it's allowing us to see the light at the end of the tunnel, maybe when we've been through some rather difficult times, knowing that we can navigate our way forwards and that we are looking forward to success in the future. It's a little bit about giving back what we've already received, maybe not from those that we are receiving it from, but more likely that it is to do with those that we are unexpectedly having our hopes, wishes fulfilled, navigated by people that we never, ever thought were actually going to be in our lives. So we can get that back from people that we'd least expect it from, okay? It's also to do with peace of mind. And peace of mind is obviously a big one. So this is a beautiful card, okay? It shows very much some beautiful colours in this lovely deck that's on my PDF. Incidentally, if anybody would like the worksheets that go with this workshop, I'm more than happy to give you your copy. Your copy will be white, okay? And if you are looking to actually have any further training, I actually provide that on my website. It's all recorded for you, and there is a beginner's, intermediate and an advanced section. For now, this is a workshop where we touch briefly on anything you want to talk about, where I am going through each of the cards and giving you the meanings, talking a little bit about the symbology of the card and telling you the meaning of the card. If you would like, we can discuss what the feelings are, but unless you interact, I'm going to move on into our next card. So does anybody have any questions? If you do, feel free to type your comment and I will see it and do my best to reply to it. Okay, so I'll just give you a moment. And today, as always, I'll be trying to show you some different examples from the one that's here of a tarot card that we are actually using today. So today we've got the Star card and we've got the Moon. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee. How are you all doing today? I hope you're well. I hope everybody is in good form, and I hope you know that you are enjoying whatever it is your day is bringing for you. Okay, right, we don't seem to have any comments, so I am moving on to our next card, which is the Moon. Look at that. Well, the Moon works in conjunction with the astrological sign of Pisces and, of course, the planet the Moon itself. This is a card of fear and illusions. So what do we mean? Well, when the Moon pops up in a reading, it kind of highlights the things that make us feel uneasy, our fears, what's going on in our illusions. The Moon is sometimes something that focuses very heavily upon what's on our mind or what's in our emotions, our innermost fears. It can be our imagination is running, crazy and going into a place where we are thinking, crikey, that's definitely going to happen. It's where we feel anxious. It's where we can actually lack courage. It's where we feel overwhelmed by the things that are perhaps not going right. And we're looking at things in a way that is, we're choosing to see only the negative of things because of how we feel. We're feeling a bit hopeless. Oh gosh, there's no point. It's all like this. I'm a bit scared. Those are the kind of feelings that come out when the Moon card can come up in a reading. But you know what I always say to you, I read in pairs. So it depends. Number one, what is its minor card in its pair? And number two, where is it coming out in the spread? Because it might not be the person that's having the reading. It might be the person that is having the reading and somebody in their life. Or if you're the one that's actually giving yourself a reading, it might not be you, it might be somebody else. So it could be in the influences of others. And the way in which I teach my spread, I do go through whether it's a physical, intellectual, emotional, or a spiritual position, and whether or not it's grounded because it has some foundations, so it's conscious, or whether it's our subconscious, or whether it's actually a reality at all. Maybe it's all in our thoughts. Yeah. So using my method, you'll be able to actually pinpoint exactly what the cards actually mean because of where they are and what other significator and clarifier is coming up with the actual pair that I suggest you use. This workshop is just about going through the cards first and foremost, but I keep mentioning how I actually read and I get asked 100 times, what is that spread? Well, it's an extended tarot cross, Celtic cross, I beg your pardon. It was called the Tarot Cross by my teacher many, many years ago. I think it's a bit more like a tarot scope, but it is an extended Celtic cross, okay? It's also a card of experiencing distortions. So where we're actually distorting our view, our perception, we're letting things kind of come to us in a way that we are deliberately or we can't help it. We're just distorting what the reality of the situation is. Sometimes it's also because we've had some unrealistic expectations. Oh, I'm manifesting this and I asked for £1 million and I asked for it by Wednesday. I'm really, really down now that it didn't happen. Well, perhaps it was unrealistic to expect to actually have that happen to you in A, the time frame, and B, the amount. Got to be realistic about things and what was your part to play in it all, and a sense of entitlement, even though we're manifesting, doesn't actually mean that we don't do anything. So that's an example of unrealistic expectations. So anybody got any questions? I've jumped on rather early today. We've got a lot of thunderstorms here in my part of the world. And while there is no thunder, lightning, and tripping our electric, because I think we're in for this for quite some time, next few days at least, I decided to get this done so that you had your weekly tarot workshop. Don't want to miss any if I can avoid it. Yesterday was incredibly busy with readings. I didn't get a moment, and I was hoping that I would get it done last night, but didn't work out that way. So I know that some of you are missing due to the fact that I've moved the time. I jump on with this one wherever I can, so I'm available for readings. Okay, so it's also about, the moon card is also about our vivid dreams or visions. So if this card comes up, maybe you need to pay attention to your dreams. What's going on? Is there a recurring dream? Is there a theme? Is it fearful? Is it something that's an emotion? Is it something that's significant? Is it something that puzzles you? Didn't make any sense? Or is it something that you feel someone that you haven't seen or heard from in quite some time actually popped up or appeared in that dream and it was totally bizarre? Well, if that's the case, do keep a note of your dreams and write it down, and maybe have a reading about them. Quite often I'll do a reading and somebody will say to me, gosh, I want a reading about X, but while we're here, do you mind if I ask, could you look at my dream, it was Y, and could you explain it to me? Happy to do that. Okay, it's one of those things. Hi Belinda, didn't know you were around today. Hi. So it's lovely to have you along. Thank you very much. Very few people watching due to the time of day that I have jumped on. So not to worry, you can watch it on the replay. I'm fine, thank you, Belinda. I'm fine. How are you? Feeling any better? Just wait to see what Belinda says. She'd not been 100% under the weather. It's that time of year, isn't it? So, right, with no further ado, let's move on to, we can move around in this card and wander aimlessly. What does that mean? Well, it can be going around going, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm feeling really lost, don't know what's going on, feeling this, that and the other, I'm actually not sure what I'm supposed to be doing, am I on the right path? Sometimes when you're like that, it is good to get some really good impartial advice based on the nature of the fact that you are looking to kind of get some direction to navigate where you're going, for things to actually come in and make sense to you, so that you are able to actually feel that you're aiming in a certain direction, because that'll make you feel better alone, The moon card can make us feel really anxious, can make us feel as if we're depressed. Well, we're not depressed. We are depressed for a reason, if that makes sense. It's not a clinical thing. It's not, oh gosh, I don't know what's wrong with me. It's, I'm actually depressed because, I'm feeling depressed because things are not panning out. It's disappointing. And it makes me feel like this, and we can feel apathetic, we can feel very down, we can feel very negative, we can choose to look inwards and kind of not want to bother. So it's good to always have a strategy, it's good to always have a plan, and it's really nice when we are in a position to be able to connect with our dreams and our visions. Be open to fantasy, it's good. It's good to be like that. That's one of the positive sides. What do I mean? Well, if you are fantasizing about actually changing your job, something there, isn't there? Don't just fantasize about it. Go and look at the details of what it would be like. What would you like to do? What do you want to change? What money do you want to earn? Where do you want to work from? Do you want to move? Do you want some more responsibility? Do you want to give more of your time? All these kind of things can have a massive effect upon the moon coming to us, and what can actually make us kind of go inward. We're in a position to actually recognize that, in actual fact, sometimes we need to be affected in perhaps a way that makes us feel a bit down. Otherwise, we won't change anything. If everything's going well, we're likely to be comfortable and actually keep going and change very little. Okay, so sometimes the moon card can really inspire creativity, direction. Sure, it can be a little bit bumpy and a bit painful emotionally and a bit sort of like not in a great mood, but or it makes you anxious. But that's the time to actually look at what's making you feel that way and change it so that you can actually grow and get the happiness that you want. It's also a card of having unusual thoughts. When people are kind of going, I was connecting to this and I don't know whether that's real or whether that's actually my subconscious. Doesn't matter, you know. Unusual thoughts can actually be quite brilliant. Sometimes unusual thoughts can actually be what makes a success. Or if they are something that is making somebody feel a little bit down, then obviously they need to actually let those thoughts come and just release them by letting go of them and saying, okay, I gave that time, that's it now. Didn't make me feel good, let's move on. Meditation, if that's what's happening, or even connecting maybe into your intuition, going and seeing somebody for some impartial advice, whoever that happens to be, whether it's, for a reading, or whether it's to speak to somebody in the healthcare service, or whether it's to speak to a professional or an advisor, those kind of things. It's also a time when we are very easily distracted. Moon is scattered. It can be all over the place. Oh, I think this, or I feel this, or oh, gosh, that's how my mood is. It can affect our mood very, very, very much. It's a huge pull. And it's where we see things out of proportion. Just imagine if you were walking along a lane at night in the moonlight. Things look so, so different to if we were walking along that lane in the middle of a sunny day, with the breeze and the sort of the sun and the sound of the birds or the traffic or whatever it is that's around you that you can actually identify with. A sunny day, your whole perspective is very different. When the moon's around, it's a bit like walking down that lane at 3 a.m. and very little moonlight and just being a little bit anxious, looking this way and that way as to what might creep out or jump out at you. Do you see my drift? Okay, it's because we are cautious. We're there for a reason. Maybe we need to protect ourselves. Maybe we're a bit vulnerable. Maybe we need to be more aware, heightened. So that's a little bit also about what it is to have the moon card pop up. Maybe you're meant to be a little bit more on the edge of things and look at things in more of a suspicious way, or maybe you're overdoing it. You'd only know that by what other surrounding cards are in the reading and where it is in the spread, as I keep saying. Okay, right. Now then, where did I get to? Disorientated. You see, this card can affect me. Feeling the energy of that card. A bit like a fuzziness, not being able, brain fog sort of type thing. Cards will affect you, and if you meditate on them or you're working with them, you can feel that energy. And although this card, moon card's beautiful, so many wonderful, wonderful things that come up with it. It depends where it is, depends what card it comes up with, but it can make you a little bit floppy, I'd call it, where we are a little bit disorientated, where we're kind of like, what did you just say? That kind of thing. It can make us outlandish and bizarre. I'm sure we've all heard, oh, it must be a full moon because the dogs are barking, the kids are screaming, and everybody's hyper. Yeah, that kind of thing. So yes, but it can draw upon our creativity, our sensitivity, and sometimes our lack of reality. But, calling all artists there, that's a fabulous thing, isn't it? To be able to tap into all of that and maybe capture it, in some way, if you are a creator of some sorts. So sometimes it can point also to a sixth sense or psychic abilities. It's the card of the seer. as in, I spelt it like that deliberately for you so that you could actually see seer is normally spelled as in S-E-E-R, but I've extended it as in the seer just sees, where you can gaze at things beyond the material world, where you can go into your daydreams, where you can go into your dreams, where you can connect with illusions and delusions. And kind of from that, we can create, we can grow, or we can choose to stay there for a while until we feel that it's time for us to pop on to another stage in our lives. But if you are feeling a little bit stuck with this card, do actually look at emotions. Look at Pisces. It's connected with Pisces, and Pisces are wonderful people, totally creative, very imaginative. They're the ones that write the songs, the stories, the poems, produce the art, do the beautiful photos, and it goes on. I'm not saying they're the only ones, but if you think of Pisces, that's the kind of energy. And if you think of the moon card, it's that type of energy. But quite often those people, in order to create something, have felt something and been affected by something. Therefore, that's why they are totally brilliant, have been able to speak to many, because they manage to touch us in our lives and affect us in some way. Okay, right, bear with me. I'm going to very quickly try and get my table popped on here. So bear with me. There we go. Right, okay. Now, I have popped on there. If you want the worksheets, you can email me at hello@tarotwithannemarie.com. Okay, so you're very, very welcome to do that. And for those that are on the catch-up, just if you wouldn't mind typing in when you watch this on either YouTube or Facebook, please do actually say that you are watching the catch-up version of it. Okay, so I've got a deck here. Anybody that enjoys animals, this is the Baroque Bohemian Cats Tarot. Okay, and I've had a lot of decks by Barbara Prague, as it was called, and there's the box. Okay, I'm going to show you that because the Baroque Bohemian Cats Tarot, quite a mouthful, that one, but it's all about cats and tarot cards. So there's the star card there. I like to show you different versions from the Baroque Bohemian deck, and here's another version, and that's the Robin Wood Tarot. And then we've got my version. Okay, yeah, they're all the star. Okay, so let's show you the box for that as well. It's that one. And I can't put that one on, it's way too big. I showed you that for a moment. Okay, there's my moon card. Okay, so our star card with the kitty in there, if you look, she is actually using 2 pitchers of water, pouring one back into the water and one back into the land, or in this case, it looks a bit like she's sitting, on the side there, and she's just pouring it onto the ground itself. Okay, sorry, I didn't realise that. Should move that up for you. It's the Robin Wood, and the Baroque Bohemian Tarot is over there. Okay, I've had that a long time, as you can see. Wow, good 30 odd years, I'd say, with that one. Okay, so this is really a beautiful deck. Lovely images going on there. It's a feeling of peace and calm in this environment. Really nice, as in, and if you like animals, this is a fabulous deck. I do actually really enjoy the decks by, I'm going to show you that on the side. Yeah, Karen Mahoney and Alex Okulov. I think that's how you pronounce it. Comes with a fabulous book. Yeah, and so you can go I've had this absolutely years, and yes, I have really, really read right through all of it. But I do like to show you as many sort of different sort of decks that I have used and why I was drawn to them. Why was I drawn to this one? Particularly, I feel it's the images of what's going on. It's beautiful. It's the images of what's going on behind. I do like animals. I'm more of a dog person than cats, but there's no dog version. It's not. That's not why I got it. It's the images, and I've got lots and lots of decks by Karen Mahoney, and yeah, what do they? They were called Bubble Prague for ages. If you're looking for that, you still can get it. Magic Press release. No, Magic Realistic Press. Don't know if you can see that. It's on there now. It's really hard to see. Not to worry. The main thing is it's a really lovely deck, and yes, I liked the calm, tranquil, peaceful images that's going on in the background there behind the kitty, and I thought it was really novel to have the cats. Being honest, it was probably about my third deck from these tarot card creators, because I loved the ones that I'd got from them so very, very much. The Robin Wood deck, well, that's a classic, really is, and that's just beautiful image again, quite similar to the Rider-Waite sort of deck, depending on which one you're looking at, of course, but same sort of theme, a woman pouring water into the water itself and back onto the land, showing balance, showing that 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot in the water, symbolizing that we are grounded and that we are connected with our emotions and that we are allowing the things to flow freely. Okay, so that's that one. And this was my creation. I told you I did a physical deck, as in because I created it for online for a website years ago, and that was my version of the star card. I worked with an artist and a graphic designer, and the whole point was I wanted it to be very clean and simple to appear on the website without too much clutter or detail. So much more graphic sort of image than symbolic is what I was going for, okay? But I thought I'd show you. Yeah, I've been through that journey working with an artist and graphic designer. Gosh, that goes right back 2005, I think we actually did that, okay? So let's give you the example now of my moon card, okay? The one I created. And there is the Bohemian Cats tarot. Beautiful, isn't it? Do you see what I mean? I was drawn by all of what's going on in the background. So many different images, you know. Just felt like, makes me feel like I'm somewhere else, somewhere on holiday. Sorry, my green screen, it's acting a bit odd. No, it's that one, isn't it? Sorry about that. To get that sorted. Never mind. Drawing attention to that now. I better sort that out. It's the light reflecting onto my green screen, so I will get that sorted. The moon card, beautiful, beautiful images. Most definitely look at this, what's going on here. You know, she's out there in the moonlight, all sorts of dreamy things around. We've got the creatures of the night there. We've got the lighthouse in the background there, or what looks like a lighthouse. We've got the water to represent the emotion. Here we've got the dogs and the hound here in the moon card. I go on about all the symbology in my course. Can't get through all of that when we're just doing a wee sort of tarot workshop. So yeah, we'll be covering all those kind of things as we go forward. Sorry folks, I've got a fly going around as well. I've got a storm, I've got a fly, and I've got my green screen doing that behind me. But that's all how it goes when you do a live. In my version of the moon, we just wanted the simple arrangement of being able to see it again as a graphic, but I wanted that calmness. Didn't want to put the symbology there of, you know, the creatures howling and what it actually means, and maybe the pain that may be involved. You know, different decks. This one makes me feel a little bit like there's pain. This one makes me feel, it's very, very sort of, serene and world of, gosh, I go to sleep and I get all sorts of imagination. My dreams will mean something to me in a great way. Moon card here, just very simple, very peaceful, to enjoy being around the moon itself. And of course, I cannot go this without saying, because we covered the moon, we had an almighty shift last week when we had our full moon, a very important full moon at that, where it actually affected our security because it was a full moon, and really the effects were all in Taurus, the second house, which talks about our security. And we were asked also in that full moon to actually concentrate on what we want for ourselves going forwards. But in order to do that we must be able to actually forgive and let go of things so that we're able to plan ahead, particularly for the year 2022 that's coming. Okay, no questions this week, no problem. It's because we are much earlier. Most of you are at work. I'm sorry about that, but I wanted to make sure that we actually had a tarot workshop while the storm allowed. And yeah, because living in the strange place that I do, when the storm hits, it takes out our electric. So it's not just about the background noise, it will just actually cut the whole live. So I'm warning anybody in the future, I'm sure it will happen, but I try and avoid it. So that's why I jumped on at this time. I'll see you on Friday for our lives, where you can come and ask a question, as in have a tarot reading for free with me and Marie. And if you want to like, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll be able to actually press the bell and see when I'm coming on to do another live. Oh, someone's just said hello. Hi, how are you? Oh, thank you very much, Lex Mix Games. Thank you. I'm just about to actually finish this, but how lovely that you said it's great to see me live. Thank you. If you want to do what I just said there, Lex Mix, do hop onto YouTube and subscribe and press the bell. And when you do that, you'll be notified when I come on or make a video or come live. Then you'll be able to see it. I'll see you all on Friday. I think we're going to do 5:30 this Friday, if the weather allows me to, for our free tarot readings. And then you'll see me here next week, where we'll be continuing through the major cards and then on to the minor cards and our journey of the meanings of the tarot cards. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.